I want to salute you, homie, for building your own thing and doing your own thing, creating your own platform, your own website.
With my boy Alfred on MrTaliaferro.com.
MrTaliaferro.com.
Like right now, I'm about to go to Walmart.
Just to see you with your logo on your mics.
You're rocking with MrTaliaferro.com.
Y'all go to MrTaliaferro.com. It's going down.
My biggest gift is my voice. It allows me to speak to the culture.
Right now you're turning up on MrTaliaferro.com, shawty. Yeah.
All right, whoa. Let's slow down. All right, there's a reason why I didn't want to post on this story because I wanted to see things play out. All right, let me first set off this disclaimer. Mr. Taliaferro does not condone beef. I don't like beef. I don't like it at all. I just report on stuff. I don't want to see nobody get injured, nobody get cars get shot at. I don't want to see any of that. I don't care who the artist is. As long as nobody's families got touched, nobody's friends got touched, let's just leave it alone. Leave it in the lyrics. And that's the problem with hip-hop. A lot of times we just can't leave it in the lyrics. All right? The Game and Meek Mill. All right, let's slow down. Let's go backwards. All right. The Game posts this stuff online about Meek Mill. He goes clean off. As a matter of fact, we start off in a club. The Game releases a diss record in the club called 92 Bars. All right? The Game in the club says this is going to be a classic moment in hip-hop, and that's in Miami, at Club Story, I believe, in Miami. So the following morning, The Game gets the diss record to DJ Envy, and they play it on The Breakfast Club. All right? So at that point, DJ Envy says he knows what's going on. He just doesn't want to release the news. So with that being said, The Game, he in the diss record, he's saying it's going to be a classic moment in hip-hop. The Game pretty much discussing how, look, I ain't rocking with Meek Mill. He a snitch. So at that point, we're all like, what is going on? What did Meek Mill snitch about? So a lot of people are speculating, does this have anything to do with Drake? Did he do something with Drake? Like, what's going on? The Game showed a lot of love to Drake. Drake showed love to The Game. Came out, Compton did the video with The Game. And you're thinking, man, what was it, 0 to 100? So you're thinking maybe it has something to do with Drake. The Game just stepping in because, remember, The Game has stepped in beefs in the past. Remember, he stepped in Lil Wayne and Young Thug's beef because he said he just rocked with Tunechi. Anybody beef with Tunechi, you beefing with him. The Game has been on the record saying anybody beefing with Drake, you beefing with him. Remember, in the song, he says, as a matter of fact, anybody coming at him, he gonna take care of them. You know what I'm saying? So The Game has been notoriously known for beefing with anybody who's beefing with one of his partners. Also, The Game has been known in years past for being a troll. Let me just set off this disclaimer, all right? Back in 2 years ago, when I really started hitting interviews, I said there were 3 people in the Game where I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to interview them without a few of my homeboys being around. Those 3 people, in no specific order, Master P, Gucci Mane, and The Game, because they're all kind of crazy in the head, all right? With that being said, I said, hey, The Game seems like a cool dude as long as you ain't got no problems with him. All right, but The Game, to me, has been notoriously known for being more of a troll than an artist in the last couple years because The Game's still putting out great music. If you listen to the last album, Documentary 2, you listen to the project, it's good music. It's really good music. It's a good body of music. It's long, but good music. All right? So with that being said, the focus with The Game over the last 4 or 5 years has been more or less on the shenanigans, the women, the shows. It hasn't been on the music because The Game's still putting out really good music. I still rock with The Game. As a matter of fact, all eyes on me, I need your attention. One of my favorite records right now, my girl is tired of me singing that song, all right? I rock with The Game. I love that record. I've been rocking with The Game for years now, all right? Take it back to the G-Unit days. All right. The Game, over the last couple weeks, has ended beef with 50. He spotted in the club with 50 Cent. All right, great. But The Game will send a blunt threat. He ain't going to sugarcoat nothing. And it's like, dang, we've seen you on record apologizing to Young Thug as well. You know, Young Thug played the audio on an Instagram post. All right, so he's kind of all over the place. 1 minute's threatening you, then we hear apologies. So it's like we're all over the place with The Game. He got into it with Chris Brown because Chris Brown didn't like the fact that The Game was liking pictures on Instagram, and The Game was like, it's Instagram, I like pictures. All right, so The Game's been all over the place the last few years with hip-hop, right? So with that being said, The Game called Meek Mill a snitch. At that point, we're wondering what's going on. What did Meek Mill snitch about? They jab a couple Instagram posts. Meek Mill, pretty much in his defense, he's like, man, you got an album coming out, which the game has an album expected to come out in October, I believe, or end of September, I believe October. All right, next month. The game has an album coming out, and Meek's like, man, this is a publicity stunt. I'm not finna be a part of this. I ain't getting into that. Then Meek Mill went on to say something about them fighting. He was like, man, this is a publicity stunt. Pretty much, you using me for publicity for your new album. You do it every time, all right? With that being said, the game released more news in the beef. Apparently, he's been telling people and sources close to him. TMZ got a hold of the story. This all dates back to Sean Kingston. Remember when he got robbed for his chains in the club? Well, the game and Meek Mill were also in the clubs that night. This is reported by TMZ. Now, it's reported that the game or somebody in his crew had something to do with Sean Kingston getting his chains took. All right. I don't know why would the game, anybody in his crew, if you really in his crew, you should be getting money to some extent, right? Why would you snatch somebody's chain? It doesn't seem like it's worth the hassle. But the fact that the game called Meek Mill a snitch, remember, he didn't say that Meek Mill was lying. Meek Mill lied on him. He called him a snitch. That would make people believe that the game actually, or somebody in his crew, actually did steal a chain from Sean Kingston. It seems like you're guilty. If I tell you, you know what I'm saying, if we both in a store and I steal a candy bar, and you go tell the cashier, you call the police on me and you tell me I stole that candy bar. I'm being petty here. I'm taking it back, y'all. All right. First things first, depending on how I react in that situation is going to tell the rest of the day, the rest of the outcome of the story, all right? If I say, man, why you lying on me? That's me defending myself, saying I didn't do it all together. If I call you a snitch, that's me saying I did do it. I just can't believe you snitched on me and told on me. So it seems as if though Meek Mill was questioned about this situation in the club with Sean Kingston in the game, and Meek Mill was like, if walk like a duck, quack like a duck, it ain't a damn mongoose. It wasn't me and my crew. We ain't none of that. You know what I'm saying? And to be fair to Meek Mill, he takes pretty good care of his crew. Now, I'd get mad at his crew for not being the smartest, but Meek Mill does seem to take care of his team. So I said that to say that because that doesn't seem like something Meek Mill dream chases for. With Meek Mill already on probation, something he would do, or anybody in his crew could do at this point, because Meek Mill's on thin ice. He gets arrested one more time, Meek Mill's going to do years in that Philly jail, all right? So the game, gets disrespectful not only in the track on Instagram. Look at this post. He says, this is the last time your girl Nicki Minaj had a real nigga. That is utmost disrespectful. In the diss record, he talking about trying to still smash Nicki. All that disrespect. And I will say this, you know what I'm saying? Whether I think the game is right or wrong, I don't know. I don't know the specifics. That story was reported on by TMZ, a couple other news outlets. We don't know. I'm just giving you what I know here. All right? So with that being said, I will say this. When Meek Mill dissed Drake, I said, Meek Mill, you're going to pay for that for years to come. I hate that my blog wasn't popping in, but I did. I said it. Meek Mill, you're going to pay for that for years to come. Why did I say that? Because now it's kind of the little boy who cried wolf syndrome. Now, when the news outlets get out is the game and Meek Mill beefing, the first thing people think is, damn, Meek Mill always beefing with somebody. Another L for Meek Mill, it's always somebody, you know? So with that being said, and he ain't Drake. So Drake can ignore all that. Drake's number one in the game. He's a pop star. It doesn't get to Drake. Drake don't get to typing on Twitter and Instagram off emotions. That's what Meek Mill does, all right? That's why they took his Twitter away from him. If you go check his Twitter, he doesn't tweet anymore because he couldn't control himself during the Drake and Meek Mill situation, all right? He can't hold his emotions the right way. He'll get mad over Wale not tweeting his album. No, he gets mad over petty stuff, all right? So with that being said, it's kind of that little boy who cried wolf. I hate that he ever dissed Drake. I hate that because Meek Mill is a damn good artist. And before he dissed Drake, Meek Mill was on fire. You know, we still waiting on Dream Chasers 4, which I still believe will be a great tape. But with that being said, it's like, damn, Meek. Meek has a home out in L.A. Nicki Minaj has a home out in L.A. The game ain't playing. Them Bloods, he's threatening your life right now. And he said he just wants to fight you. You know what I'm saying? The game ain't playing. He put them Bloods on you. I don't know how this is going to go. I ain't saying Meek Mill ain't gangster, but I would imagine that him and his boys will be outnumbered in Los Angeles or in Compton or ever in Cali. All right? The sad thing about it is the game and Nicki Minaj have a relationship. They did music together in the past. So I'm pretty sure these people all know where each other live. You know what I'm saying? That's the sad thing about when hip-hop goes south. People throw parties. People got mutual friends. People know how to get at each other. And that's not what hip hop should be about, man. That's what makes our culture different from the other cultures. We don't know how to keep it in the music. Ain't nobody else talking about killing like we are, or whatever it is. And we listen to it, including self. I got to be as guilty as anybody with that. We listen to that music. We allow that culture in, all right? That's what the basis of hip hop is. Talking about crazy stuff, to be honest with you. Crazy stuff or stuff that matters. No in between, all right? With that being said, that's the latest I can give you. It's went south. The Stitches guy, who the Game's crew, they whooped his ass in Miami. He's came out and said he shot at the Game car, which also is part of the story that I left out. The Game's car actually got shot at after he dissed Meek Mill in the club in Miami that night. Meek Mill was not in Miami, all right? So with that being said, it just seems like everything is all over the place right now. And the Game is serious about this beef with Meek Mill. But a lot of people looking at it on both ends. You know, Meek Mill, this is what you get. You should have never started this beef stuff. You're an easy target now. People don't really beef with a lot of artists in the game that probably deserve to be beefed with because they don't start stuff. People leave them alone. Meek Mill has made himself an easy target now. The Game, people looking at him, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got an album coming out? You do this a lot, man. It seems like you live for beef now. What's going on? The Game is expected to do a media run next week. As a matter of fact, I think he's scheduled for a Breakfast Club interview next week, so we will see. All right, the Game's going to in-depth explain that story. He ain't running from no stories. I just know the Game has had legal issues in the past about, owing people in lawsuits, and Meek Mill can't get another strike, period, or he's going to be locked away. So I just want these brothers to work it out, man. We ain't got to go no further. And goddamn, Nicki Minaj, man, where does she come in this, man? She's losing people by association. Drake, Game, damn, what's next? Meek, I just wish you would have never dissed Drake. I know these are two different situations, but man, it just, to me, if you would have never barked up that tree, we wouldn't be here right now. I got my name, Alfred Teleferro. I tried to explain that story to the best of my abilities. Comment your responses below. Tell me what you think about this whole situation. Tell me what you think in depth about the whole situation. Thank you for your time. Thank y'all for 10,000 subscribers. Again, 25,000 by Halloween morning. Thank y'all so much. I love y'all. That's the new goal, 25,000. Y'all help me make 10,000 happen. Thank y'all so much. I love y'all. Salute. I'm out. Hey, first and foremost, I want to thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I would love if you watch other videos while you're on my YouTube channel. Now, while you're here, people ask me all the time, how can you support Mr. Teleferro? Well, if you want to support me in my future endeavors, the first thing I want you to do is subscribe to my channel. If you subscribe to my channel, you get all my content first. Your subscribe goes a long way. I get to understand my demographics, understand who's supporting me, who got something out this video. So first things first, a subscribe will go a long ways. Next, if you really rock with me, donate $1 to my GoFundMe. I have a GoFundMe link in the description. If you really want to support me, just $1. Showing me $1 and some good wishes will go a long way. If you want to support me and you want to help me with my travels, I got a lot of things coming up, but I got to get them travel fees there. I got to find a way to get there, so that can help me financially if you really want to go there. Also, a word of encouragement. Thank you. Whatever it is, talk to me in my comment box below. Comment on this video, like, subscribe, do whatever you got to do this video. I got to thank you for your time. I don't take it for granted. My name is Mr. Teleferro. Now, if you subscribe, help, donate, do whatever, you can see more videos like this, more new exclusive content. I got a lot on the way. Trust me. Thank you. It's Mr. Teleferro.com.